The Galaxy Council had never spoken like this before, its voice booming across the communication networks of every civilized world. Calm yet filled with authority, humanity has overstepped its limits. War is inevitable. On Earth, in the quiet city of New London, people paused, staring at the screens. Offices, homes, and even street cafes froze for a moment. The message repeated in every language, yet no panic erupted. Only laughter, soft at first, then louder, echoing through the streets and offices. It was strange, almost disrespectful, but humans had always been different. Captain Alara Vance of the Terran Defense Fleet watched the announcement from her command bridge, her brow furrowed. Around her, hundreds of officers tapped their consoles, waiting for orders. But instead of fear, Alara felt a surge of pride. Humanity had faced threats before, and every time, they had survived, often by turning their enemies' arrogance against them. The Council's announcement continued. Prepare your fleets, human defenders. Resistance will be crushed. Alara turned to her second-in-command, Lieutenant Kale. They don't understand us, she said calmly, her eyes reflecting the bright stars outside the bridge windows. Kale nodded. Humans had always been underestimated, and they would be again. Meanwhile, across the world, citizens did not hide in bunkers or panic in the streets. They shared jokes online, made memes about the Galaxy Council, and even organized public laughter sessions, calling them human morale drills. The aliens observing Earth could not understand why humans were laughing instead of begging for mercy. Deep in orbit, the first of the Council's observation ships approached the solar system. Massive, silver, and armed with energy cannons that could destroy moons, they expected resistance. What they did not expect was the Earth itself, silent and still, hiding its real strength beneath the laughter and jokes. Alara and her team prepared the Terran fleet, but they did so quietly. Humans had learned long ago that showing fear made one vulnerable. Instead, they developed strategies and technologies in secret, unknown even to the Galaxy Council's most advanced spies. On Earth's surface, a scientist named Dr. Aaron C. worked in a hidden laboratory beneath the mountains of Asia. His team had created something no alien could have, predicted a weapon not designed to attack, but to confuse and outsmart. They think we are weak, Aaron said to his assistant, a young engineer named Lyra. But humans never fight the way others expect. Lyra smiled, her hands trembling slightly with excitement. In the Council's grand chamber, high above the stars, the alien generals argued among themselves. Why are they laughing? This is not how an inferior species should behave, one demanded, his scales bristling with frustration. Another shook his massive head. We cannot understand them. This laughter is a threat we cannot measure. And that was exactly the point. Humans had survived countless empires, countless wars, because they could turn the unimaginable into opportunity. The galaxy had never faced a species that thrived on unpredictability, a species that laughed in the face of death and dared to mock what others feared. As Earth's fleets silently gathered in orbit, and humans on the surface continued their laughter, a single truth became clear to anyone who observed carefully. The galaxy was about to learn that humanity's greatest weapon was not firepower, not fleets, but something far stranger, far more dangerous: courage, cunning, and laughter. The first signals of war had been sent, yet no one on Earth trembled. Instead, humans prepared, quietly, cleverly, laughing at the absurdity of the Galaxy Council's arrogance. And somewhere deep among the stars, a single alien admiral whispered in disbelief, "They are not afraid. They should be terrified. And yet, they laugh." The calm before the storm weeks passed after the Galaxy Council's declaration. On Earth, life continued, but beneath the calm, humanity prepared in ways no one could predict. Captain Alara Vance moved through the Terran Fleet's command center, checking on the readiness of every ship. Massive cruisers hummed with energy, smaller fighters darted through docking bays, and engineers worked tirelessly to upgrade weapons that even the Council's spies could not have imagined. In orbit, the humans didn't just prepare to fight, they prepared to confuse, to outsmart. Advanced cloaking fields hid entire fleets from the most powerful sensors. Missiles were programmed to act unpredictably, changing paths mid. Every human ship had secret defensive systems that could turn an enemy's weapon against itself. Meanwhile, on Earth, scientists and engineers worked in hidden labs. Dr. Aaron C. and his team tested their new invention, a device that could manipulate alien communications. "If we can make them argue among themselves, we'll have ours," maybe days, of advantage, Erin explained. Lyra nodded, adjusting a crystal circuit. They'll never see it coming, she said, smiling, across the solar system. The Galaxy Council watched carefully, growing frustrated. Humanity is not acting like other species. One admiral hissed. They do not panic. They do not beg. Instead, they prepare quietly and laugh. It is disturbing. Alara gathered her top officers for a briefing. The holographic map of the solar system glowed in the center of the room. We know they will attack our outer colonies first, she said, but they do not know what awaits them. Every planet, every station is prepared. Every move they make, we've already predicted. Lieutenant Kale leaned forward. And the civilians, he asked, are they safe? Alara shook her head slightly, a small smile forming. Safety is an illusion, but morale is real. That is why they laugh. The Galaxy Council cannot understand it. They think laughter is weakness, but it is strength. On the Council's side, fleets moved closer to the solar system, massive warships forming a line that could crush smaller systems in hours. Their sensors scanned Earth, but they found nothing unusual. No panic, no tremors, only laughter and quiet determination. The first encounter came at the edge of the asteroid belt. Human reconnaissance ships, small and fast, intercepted a Council scouting vessel. They didn't attack directly. Instead, they used a sequence of holographic decoys, confusing the enemy ship's sensors. Missiles changed direction mid-flight, disappearing and reappearing, forcing the alien crew to panic. Back on Earth, news spread, but not of fear. Citizens watched from their windows and screens, cheering as the first Council ship vanished without a trace. They laughed, not out of cruelty, but because they understood a simple truth. Fear is optional, courage is choice, and preparation is power. Alara received a report. They've underestimated us again, she said quietly. Her officers nodded. Every small victory mattered. The Council expected humans to beg or surrender, but humans had learned that survival depended on creativity, courage, and audacity. In secret, Dr. Erin C. activated the communications manipulator. Across the Council's fleet, signals scrambled. Orders were lost. Messages misinterpreted. Alien admirals argued over trivial mistakes, wasting precious time. Humanity's plan was working, silently, perfectly, and yet, the humans knew the real battle had only just begun. This was only the first contact, the first strike. The Council's main forces were still coming, massive fleets designed to crush entire planets. But for the first time, humanity faced the enemy on equal terms, using not only weapons, but cunning, unpredictability, and laughter. From the command bridge, Alara watched the stars, fleets moving like chess pieces. They think this will be easy, she murmured, eyes shining. They have no idea. Humanity never fights the way they expect. And so, the solar system held its breath. The galaxy waited, unaware that it was about to witness a war unlike any before, where humans did not just fight, they laughed, planned, and turned fear into their greatest weapon. The battle unleashed. The calm of space shattered as the Galaxy Council's main fleet entered the outer solar system, massive warships blocking the light of distant stars. Their weapons glowed like fire, ready to strike. And yet, on Earth, no one panicked. Captain Alara Vance stood on the bridge of the flagship Terran Resolve, eyes fixed on the approaching enemy. They think their size gives them power, she said quietly. But power without strategy is nothing. The first attack came swiftly. Energy beams cut through the void, aimed at Mars and the asteroid defenses. But humans had prepared in secret. Shields flared, deflecting blasts, and small human fighters darted between enemy ships like sparks of fire, confusing the Council's targeting systems. Lieutenant Kale guided a squadron through a dense asteroid field. "Keep them chasing us," he ordered. Human ships used every trick imaginable: decoys, holographic duplicates, sudden speed changes, turning what should have been a simple destruction mission into chaos for the aliens. Meanwhile, Dr. Erin C. activated his communications manipulator. Across the Council's fleet, commands became gibberish. Generals argued over conflicting orders, ships collided accidentally, and coordination fell apart. Humans watched the chaos unfold from orbit, not needing to fire a single weapon at some vessels. On the bridge of the Terran Resolve, screens showed alien ships misfiring on one another. "They are falling apart," Kale whispered, amazed. Alara nodded. "They still have numbers," she reminded him. "But numbers don't matter when the mind is stronger." On Earth, citizens cheered at the news feeds. People gathered in city squares, laughing and sharing jokes about alien arrogance. It was more than entertainment. It was morale. The humans understood that fear was a weapon the Council could not use against them, and laughter was their shield. The battle grew more intense. Council ships tried to regroup, launching coordinated attacks, but humans adapted faster. Each alien tactic met with an unpredictable human counter. Mines disguised as cargo ships exploded at the perfect moment, disabling entire fleets. Energy nets trapped enemy cruisers in temporary stasis, giving human pilots time to strike. Even the Council's most advanced warships could not predict the human strategies. Captain Alara had studied alien battle patterns for years, and every move the Council made was met with something unexpected. Humans exploited every weakness, every hesitation, turning chaos into victory. Amid the fighting, a human engineer named Lyra, working in orbit, remotely triggered a massive holographic projection. Suddenly, hundreds of fake human fleets appeared across the system, multiplying the actual forces many times over. The Council's generals panicked. "They are everywhere," one shouted, his voice trembling. "How is this possible?" Ilara smiled. She knew the aliens could never understand humanity's greatest weapon, creativity under pressure. The more the Council tried to crush humans, the more humans turned their fear into laughter, their tension into clever maneuvers, their weakness into strength. By the end of the first major skirmish, several Council ships were destroyed, others drifting, confused, unable to recover. Humanity had won not just by firepower, but by thinking differently, by refusing to act like predictable prey. As the dust settled in space, Alara turned to Kale. They expected surrender. They got laughter. They expected fear. They got strategy, she said, looking at the blinking stars. And the war has only begun. Somewhere deep in the Council's command halls, an alien admiral whispered in disbelief. "These humans, they do not fight like anyone else. They are dangerous," and dangerous they were. For the first time in history, the galaxy had met a species that could turn mockery into a weapon, laughter into armor, and unpredictability into victory. The counter-stricken galaxy held its breath. After the first battle, the Council's pride was wounded, and their fury burned hotter than ever. Massive reinforcements moved into the solar system, armed with weapons designed to break entire planets. Captain Alara Vance watched the reports come in from her scouts. "They're stronger than the First Fleet," she said, her face calm but her mind racing. "They think overwhelming force will work. They've never faced humans like this before." Lieutenant Kale adjusted the battle projections on the holographic map. "They'll strike Earth directly this time," he said. "Civilian zones are at risk." Ilara shook her head. "We've prepared. Humans are never helpless. Fear is not in their nature. Our advantage is still surprise." On Earth, people continued their daily lives. But secretly, entire underground networks were ready for evacuation and defense. Cities were equipped with hidden energy shields, emergency evacuation routes, and automated defense systems. Children laughed in playgrounds, oblivious to the danger above, while scientists and engineers ensured every device was ready. In orbit, Dr. Erin C. monitored the incoming fleet. "This is their big strike," he said. "But we've saved our best trick for this moment." Lyra stood beside him, hands on the control panel. "Once the Council's main ships enter range, they won't know what hit them," she said with a grin. The Council's fleet advanced, energy weapons glowing bright against the darkness of space. Their strategy was simple: overwhelm humans with brute force, destroy the planets, and force surrender. But humans were never simple, and simplicity was not their weakness. Alara gave the command: "Initiate Project Mirage." Suddenly, the Council's sensors were flooded with thousands of false signals. Entire fleets appeared where no ships existed. Missiles and beams missed targets as decoy holograms moved faster than reality. Alien admirals screamed orders, but chaos spread among them like wildfire. On the ground, automated defense systems activated. Massive energy shields covered cities, and orbital cannons fired precise, silent strikes at Council warships. Each shot was calculated to disable, not destroy, confusing the enemy further. Even the Council's most advanced technology could not predict human tactics. In the middle of the chaos, Ilara piloted her flagship through the center of the battle. She dodged attacks with uncanny precision, her crew executing maneuvers the aliens could not comprehend. Humans did not fight predictably, they adapted instantly, turning every attack into an opportunity. Dr. Erin C. initiated the communications manipulator again. Across the Council fleet, signals scrambled completely. Orders contradicted each other. Generals argued over phantom attacks. Confusion turned to panic. Ships collided. Their fleet, massive and powerful, was reduced to disorder within hours. And yet, Alara knew this was only the beginning. The Council would not give up. They would try again, using tactics humans could not imagine. But humanity had a simple rule: never fight like anyone expects. Creativity, courage, and laughter were stronger than fear and arrogance combined. On Earth, people watched the skies, still laughing, still joking, still confident. They knew the humans in orbit were protecting them, and that the Galaxy Council was underestimating their greatest weapon, unpredictability. As the Council fleet retreated, battered and confused, Alara looked at Kale. "They'll come back stronger. They always do," she said, her voice steady. "But we'll be ready. And they will never understand us." Somewhere deep in the Council halls, an alien general whispered in disbelief. "Humans, they fight with their minds, not just weapons. They are impossible to predict." And impossible they were. The galaxy had only just begun to learn the truth. Humans did not just survive, they thrived on chaos, courage, and laughter. The grand finale, the Galaxy Council was furious. Their pride shattered, their fleets battered and confused. They gathered their final armada, the largest and most powerful the galaxy had ever seen. Every admiral demanded victory, and every soldier prepared to crush humanity once and for all. Captain Alara Vance stood on the bridge of the Terran Resolve, watching the enemy approach. Her crew was calm, efficient, ready. "This is it," she said softly, her eyes scanning the stars. "They think they can break us. They are wrong. Humanity does not break." On Earth, citizens continued their daily lives, unafraid. Children played in parks, scientists fine-tuned secret devices, and soldiers took strategic positions. Laughter echoed through cities, and screens showed cheerful messages. Fear is optional. Courage is choice. Humans laugh in the face of danger. The Council fleet arrived, weapons blazing, energy beams cutting across the void like lightning. Their firepower was overwhelming, their numbers unmatched. Yet humans did not panic. Instead, they executed their final plan, Project Infinity. From hidden stations, human engineers activated massive orbital arrays, creating illusions of entire fleets that moved faster than reality. Missiles and drones attacked simultaneously from every angle, turning the Council's armada into chaos. Ships collided, energy beams misfired, and communication broke down completely. Alara led a daring strike into the heart of the enemy fleet. Her flagship moved with precision and speed, dodging attacks that would have destroyed any other vessel. Fighters followed her through asteroid fields, using clever maneuvers, decoys, and traps to destroy enemy ships one by one. Meanwhile, Dr. Erin C. activated the ultimate device, the quantum confuser. Across the Council's fleet, their sensors failed completely. Orders became meaningless. Ships could not target correctly, and panic spread like fire among alien ranks. The Council, the most advanced force in the galaxy, had no answer. On the ground, Earth's cities remained untouched. The secret shields held, and humans watched in awe as their fleets outsmarted the invaders. They laughed, celebrated, and cheered as every alien ship fell into traps, proving once again that human ingenuity could overcome raw power. Alara turned to Kale. They expected surrender. They expected fear. Instead, they met laughter, strategy, and courage. "And that is why they lose," she said, her voice calm but proud. The Council's armada retreated, broken and humiliated. Reports of human victory spread across the galaxy. Planets that had once feared the Council now looked to humanity with respect, even awe. Humans had not just defended their home, they had rewritten the rules of war. In the Council's halls, alien generals whispered in disbelief. "These humans, they are not like anyone else. They fight with their minds, their hearts, and laughter. How is this possible?" And the truth was simple. Humans were unpredictable. They did not bow to fear, they did not yield to threats, and they did not fight like anyone expected. Courage, creativity, and laughter were their weapons, and no power in the galaxy could match them. On Earth, Alara and her crew returned to a hero's welcome. Citizens cheered, laughed, and celebrated their victory. Humanity had survived the mightiest armada the galaxy had ever sent out. In doing so, they had proven what all other species would soon learn. The galaxy may hold countless civilizations, advanced fleets, and deadly weapons, but nothing could match the spirit of humanity. And that spirit was unstoppable.